topic of today's discussion is how to design a PCB or a printed circuit board. We will see the basics of printed circuit board design in this class. In electronic product design and development, we normally validate the functionality of the product by using a breadboard model where we physically verify the functionality. Followed by that, we would design a printed circuit board or a PCB where the components are mounted on the PCB and then soldered. Finally, we would complete the product by designing an enclosure for that. In this entire process, it is no way possible to deliver the product by using a breadboard model because the breadboard model is purely meant for validation and the components are loosely mounted over here. So there is no scope for supplying this to the customer. So if at all you are planning to design a product, electronic product, it is necessary that you should learn how to design a printed circuit board. If you want to know the definition of a printed circuit board, a printed circuit board mechanically supports and electrically connects electronic components using conductive tracks, pads, and other features, etched from one or more sheet layers of copper laminated onto or between sheet layers of non-conductive substrate. So what exactly it means? Putting it in simple terms, a printed circuit board mechanically supports the components and electrically connects them. How it mechanically supports? We physically solder them so that the board becomes a rigid, solid electronic board. And we also electrically connect them at the backside by designing tracks. This is how the components are connected to each other electrically. And how are they done? They are done by a non-conductive substrate. Okay, this is a substrate material in which all the components are physically mounted and electrically connected. Let us understand the basic terminologies of PCB design this class.
In a PCB, the base material is called the substrate. So this is my substrate. Normally, substrate is made of fiberglass. On top of that, you have the copper layer. A PCB should have at least one copper layer. If a PCB has only one copper layer, we call that as a single layer PCB. If the PCB has copper layer on both sides, both top and bottom, we call that PCB as a double layer PCB. On the other hand, if you have copper in between top and bottom, if multiple copper layers are stacked in between, we call that as multi-layer PCB. Multi-layer PCB. So multi-layer PCB is normally used for minimizing the overall size of the PCB and to cramp more number of components in a very small area. Typically, the motherboards of your mobile phone, your computers, all those motherboards have multi-layer PCBs. But when we design PCBs, we always start with single-layer PCB to understand the concept better, and then slowly move on to designing double-layer PCB, and then you go for designing multi-layer PCB. In a single-layer PCB, you have only one copper layer, which is the bottom layer. In the bottom layer, you have the copper. In the top layer, we put our components. In the bottom layer, the copper layer additionally has solder mask and green silk screen layer, which we normally do after we fabricate the PCB. So once we start designing the PCB, you will understand those things. In a single layer PCB, you have only one copper layer, which is the bottom layer. That is where we put all our tracks and we put all our components in the top layer. So that is the basic understanding that you should have. So let us understand what exactly a single-sided PCB looks like. This is a single-sided PCB. This is the top side and this is the bottom side. Okay. So in the top side, we put all our components. In the bottom side, we design all our tracks. So you see there are a lot of tracks going on here from here. So this is the copper layer. Okay. So top layer is the component layer, bottom layer is the copper layer where we design all the tracks. So that difference you should understand. So additionally, in the top layer, you also have the bottom layer, you also have solder mask. Solder mask is a green paint that you can see, which is all over the place except the pads. These are called the pads. Except the pad area, the rest of the area are covered with the green paint. That is called a solder mask. That green paint will avoid these tracks getting corroded by environment. Additionally, we also have a top silk screen layer. So this is called a silk screen layer. Silk screen layer is a layer which is defining the boundary of the component. It is also used to name the components. This is just for identification purpose. Why that is needed? Because after you fabricate the PCB, you have to position the components in the right place. So R2 means it is a resistor. R1 means it is a different resistor with a different value. C1 means it is a capacitor. So you know exactly which component to be put in which place and then to solder them. So that is why we need this component identification names. That is done in the silkscreen layer. That is similar to a layer which is on top of this component layer for identification purpose, which is normally done in white ink. So this is how a typical single layer PCB would look like. So a single layer PCB essentially has two sides. One is a top side, the other one is a bottom side. The top side we put all our components, and the bottom side we put all our tracks, design all our tracks. So that is how it is. One of the important concepts that you have to understand in PCB designing is you have to understand clearly the difference between a symbol and a footprint. Okay, symbol is used in schematic diagrams. Footprint is used in PCB layouts. Say for example, when I ask you to draw a circuit with two resistors, how would you draw the schematic? Typically, you would draw the symbol of the resistor like this. So you call this as R1 and this is what we call it as schematic. But when you draw a PCB diagram for the same thing, okay, these symbols is for our understanding. But when you design a PCB, how this R1 and R2 would look like practically? This R1 would look like a component with two pads, and resistor is a cylindrical structure, and that connects these two pads. This is how a simple resistor would look like. So R1 would look like this, and R2 would look like this. R1 and R2. So this is how R1 and R2 would look like. They are called the footprints. Footprints means how a component which is represented in schematic would look like practically, because footprints is what we use for PCBs. We cannot use schematic symbols for PCB designing, because symbols are used for our understanding of how one component is electrically connected to the other component. Whereas PCB designing is something which is done for a practical situation. PCB designing is done for actual components. So you should know how actual components would look like for each and every schematic symbol. Only then you can physically put those footprints in the PCB, and then you design the tracks for them. So schematic and footprint are two different terms. I have given an example here. On the left hand side, you have the schematic symbol for op amp. So this is the symbol for, this is a schematic symbol for op amp. What you see on the right is the corresponding footprint for the op amp. Okay, this is a symbol. Whereas a footprint means this is an IC with 8 pins. So this IC is what I'm going to put it in my practical board. So this is the actual footprint. This is the schematic symbol. Symbols we use in schematic diagrams or circuit diagrams. Footprints we use in PCB layouts. So you have to understand, but this is the exact representation of this. There is a one-to-one distinction between the two. Are you able to understand the difference between the two? A symbol versus a footprint. A symbol is used in a circuit diagram. A footprint is used in a PCB layout. PCB layout represents the actual physical dimension of the component that you are using, which means that particular diagram should have the exact representation of the physical size of the component. That is what we mean by footprint. Whereas schematics is basically an electrical diagram which represent how this particular circuit is electrically connected, for which a symbol is sufficient. So this is the representation of a schematic diagram versus PCB layout. What you see on the left is a schematic diagram. For the same schematic diagram, the corresponding PCB layout is drawn on the right hand side. So you should have one-to-one comparison for the two. Say for example, there is a USB connector on the left hand side. So this is the USB connector symbol. The same USB connector which is on the right hand side is the footprint. In the center, you have the schematic symbol of Atmega 328 microcontroller. What you are seeing on the right is the footprint of Atmega 328. This microcontroller would look like a 28-pin IC. If a symbol doesn't have a footprint, you cannot design PCB. So make sure when you are designing a PCB, if your objective is just to simulate something, that is fine. If your objective is to draw a PCB of a circuit, whatever the symbol that you put in your schematic diagram should have a footprint. Otherwise, you need to design a footprint for that. And the other important difference that you have to understand is in a schematic diagram, between two circuit symbols, we connect them by using wires. We call them as wires. A wire is a component which you use for connecting two circuit symbols in a schematic. Whereas in a PCB layout, footprints are connected by using tracks. Okay, so wires becomes tracks in the PCB layout. So a wire is something which is used to connect different circuit symbols in a schematic diagram, whereas in a PCB layout we use tracks for connecting. Track is a copper wire which connects different PCB footprints. Again, in a circuit symbol, each wire here represent a pin. Okay, that is how we call this as pin 1, pin 2, pin 3 in a symbol. Whereas in a PCB layout, each pin is physically called as a pad. Okay, this is called a pad, PAD pad. So this is a rectangular pad. So pad is a point where electrically it is connected to a different component. Okay, so in a PCB layout, it is called as a pad. In a symbol, it is called as a pin. So that is something that you have to understand very clearly. So there is a clear-cut, one-to-one match between a schematic diagram and the PCB layout. When you are designing a PCB layout, schematic diagram comes first. You have to draw the schematic diagram. Later on, you have to give the electrical connections in the PCB layout. So irrespective of whether you like it or not, you have to draw the schematic diagram first. Only then you can design the PCB layout. It is also possible to draw the layout without schematic diagram, but that is erroneous method. But it is always recommended to go with the schematic diagram first. So when you want to design a PCB layout, the very first step is you need to design a schematic diagram and then later convert that into a PCB layout. So there is a one-to-one match between a schematic diagram and a PCB layout. Okay, so that understanding you have to have very clearly. For your understanding, I'll write the important terms here. So this is the schematic, this is the PCB. In the schematic, we call that as a symbol. In the PCB, we call that as a footprint. So that is the corresponding match for that. A symbol has many pins. A footprint has so many pads. Okay, pins are connected between different things by using wires, and here they are connected by using tracks. Okay, so that difference you have to understand very clearly. What is a symbol? What is a footprint? What is a pin? What is a pad? What is a wire? And what is a track? So in a symbol, you can put any pin wherever you want. Say for example, in a symbol, if you take, I put a simple box diagram. It is not necessary that you have to put the pin number 1 here. You can even put pin number 1 here. It doesn't make any difference in a symbol. Because symbol is used for our representation. Whereas in a footprint, pin number 1 always starts from the left-hand side, top left-hand side, because that is the actual pin number 1 in the actual IC. So you cannot swap pads just like that. So the difference between a footprint and a symbol.